Warning. Listening to this show may result in increased levels of inspiration, motivation, and innovation. Side effects can include the immediate urge to take massive action to build a better business and life for yourself and others. You've been warned. Welcome to Influencers Radio with your host, Jack Mize.
And welcome back to Influencers Radio. Today, I have a guest that is really making a huge difference to a lot of people's lives because really what he's doing is helping folks, connecting folks with opportunities that a lot of them did not think they had, or they thought that maybe outside of their reach in the beautiful country of Australia. Today's guest is Jon Gardner, and he helps people in Australia that are looking for a career change. And when people are looking for a career change and to better their positions, really move ahead in their professional career, and a lot of times they may not have the education, the higher education, and what he does is he helps people get into nationally recognized government-funded courses. And here's the part that is just really incredible that a lot of people take a double take on, and that is they don't actually have to pay for these courses until they are earning more than $53,000 per year. So what they actually get to do is they get to get into a career that they're going to enjoy, and get prepared for that without the stress that a lot of folks have of immediate payment of that tuition until they're actually set in that career and really gaining traction. So, Jon Gardner, welcome to Influencers Radio.
G'day, Jack. Thank you for having me.
Well, I got to say that this is really something remarkable that that you've put together, and this is something that's available, but it seems that a lot of people don't realize that these opportunities are here. Some people think that just going to the university is outside of their reach, or it's just not practical for them in their situations. And you say, yes, it is. It's very practical, and it is within reach if they know what to do and how to go about it. So let's talk about that.
Sure.
What is it that you're able to do to connect these folks, or what are these opportunities that they have that they may not realize are out there?
Sure. Well, the Australian government for quite a few years now has been funding education on several levels. The universities have been thriving through this funding with a program called HEX, and basically they pay for the government. The way it works is the student will choose a course, the government will pay for it, and then the government retrieves the money that they paid for it as a way of a loan through the student, and they pay it back regularly with an interest payment. But what we discovered, that the government had changed these rules, so to speak, and now they've got this new funding. Well, it's not new, it's been around a while, but the thing is, people or your general layman out in Australia is not aware of it. And the main reason we found that they're not aware of it is because of the terminology that the government bureaucrats were using. So, for example, the funding is known as vet fee assistance. Now, if you were to walk down the streets of Sydney and ask anyone, what is vet fee assistance, I guarantee you 90% would probably tell you that they don't know. Okay, so what we did was we looked at all the terminology that the bureaucrats used, and we changed it around and changed those terms into layman's terms, and then basically put it in a form of marketing via our website and some sponsored ads, and also some CP pay-per-click advertising, and we've got quite a bit of traffic coming through and quite a bit of interest. And what we were finding was the more that we use layman's terms, the easier it was for them to understand. And then these people would realize that there is an opportunity there that they weren't aware of.
Yeah, and it is a huge opportunity. It's a life-changing opportunity for them to be able to have this higher education. Now, one of the things that really I want to put a spotlight on is that you deal only with nationally recognized institutions, right? Because the fact is, there's a lot of people that it's easy to confuse legitimate, recognized courses from people that are kind of, what they call them, the diploma mills, or the people that aren't really that legitimate type of courses. And one of the things that you do is you kind of help that layer of protection of folks to make sure that they're choosing courses that are going to be recognized and are going to fit within this funding opportunity, right? So I'm sure there's criteria about what kind of courses. Someone can't just say, "Hey, I took a course from this place down the on the internet. Here, I want you to pay the bill." Right? There's some regulations and some guidelines around that, right?
That's correct. I mean, the colleges that we deal with are all they're all institutes in their own right. Most of them have been around for quite a long time. And what they've done is, because of the advent of the internet, they're basically shutting down their campuses, not all of them, mind, but shutting down their campuses and going online. So they have these learning portals where the student basically gets login credentials sent to them once they're enrolled. Once they've logged into the portal, they'll find all the learning resources they require, including video tutorials, etc. And then they also get assigned a tutor, a real live person tutor, who it's their responsibility to make sure that the student progresses through the course, whatever it may be, and ultimately graduates.
Now, and I think that's a big piece of this, having that tutor and having someone that is not only helping you along, but perhaps even a little level of accountability, definitely adds to the success of people going through this. Now, because you do have this layer of protection, what is it? Because some people think about this, they hear, internet, and obviously there's so many courses that are recognized by the government and approved by the government for this funding. And some of them may not be institutions that, people have on the top of their head, the big names that they have. So a lot of people may have concerns or thinking, is this a scam? Is this on the up and up? Because I haven't necessarily heard of that school, and they want to make sure that they are going to the right way. To talk about how you kind of protect them from that, and keep them on the right track from avoiding hitting some of these that may not be legitimate, and to also make them feel good about what the school that they're going to, the course that they're taking, that it is recognized and it is a quality education.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I don't know. I mean, here in Australia, the internet and people that use the internet, obviously majority of the population, there is this trust factor that Australians seem to have. They see something, whatever it may be, not just education, but whatever it may be, and then they'll think, oh, this is just too good to be true, and so they'll try and withdraw from it, or they'll be reserved about taking the next step or moving forward. So for anyone that's doing any type of marketing on the internet in Australia, they're really behind the eight ball before they start, because of this trust factor. So the thing we have to do is to build trust with everyone that we deal with, and the way we do that is basically, it's simple. we'll reiterate to them that, at the end of the day, the course that they choose, the government is going to go and pay for it. Now, the government is not stupid. The government will not pay for a course that is not nationally recognised. So they have this charter or this list of all nationally recognised colleges that offer nationally recognised education. And so what will happen, the process, they'll come through our marketing funnel, they'll come through to us, they'll have various amounts of questions. Our call centre will deal with those questions and try to make them feel more confident about this informed decision that they need to make. Because at the end of the day, there's a few things they need to understand. First of all, they're going to get a nationally recognised education, and they need to understand that the government's going to pay for it, but it is a loan. Okay, so it's a loan that they will have to start paying back. So it doesn't actually kick in straight away, like as if you were going to a bank, for example. It only kicks in when and if you start earning over $53,000 per annum. So the point I'm making is that with the trust, if we were just to grab any old course off anyone and try selling them, there's no way we're going to get paid for it, or whoever's giving you the pay, because when it comes down to at the end of the day, we have to go to the government and say, right, this person is an Australian citizen, they have a tax file number, they've been paying, or they've just left school, or whatever their position is. They go and do their research, they look into that person, they say, right, yeah, this person is bona fide, we understand, we just need to see some ID, and yes, we'll pay for it. That's the point. If it's not bona fide, then the government are not going to pay for it.
Right. So that's kind of your safety net, is before you ever risk anything, before you spend money on anything, the government is going to sign off on it as, yes, this is approved, this is not approved. And if they say, yes, this is approved, that's kind of your stamp of authenticity that they wouldn't approve to pay for this if this wasn't a legitimate, nationally recognized institution.
That's correct. Yes, that's exactly right. And what happens is once the student is enrolled and he starts their education and they start getting a feel for it and they start enjoying it, then they go out and tell their friends that were in the same position, might have been in the same position they were before they actually, came to us. And then their friends start looking into us. And it's become, even though our marketing on the internet, that's the way we that's the way we get most of our prospects. There's a lot of referrals going out there. And what that tells me is, it's human nature. You wouldn't refer anything or anyone to one of your closest friends if you didn't have that confidence in what you were referring, if that makes sense.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And that's one of the strongest endorsements. When you have people that are referring people, then, it's, that's really a sign to, the success and the quality of what you put together here. And I want to talk a little bit about when you talk about people that are referring people in their similar situation, the situations are that, maybe they didn't get a chance to go to the university right after they finished their primary, their high school, or they got a job in a situation that they're working to pay the bills and it doesn't allow them to pursue a bigger career or prospects that, or higher paying jobs that require that education. And so we're not just talking about one kind of course. We're talking about a lot of different types of businesses and industry. From what I've seen, they can take courses in business, from childcare, finance, information technology, even multimedia and web design. So it's not just a kind of set course. There's a lot of opportunities in many different careers that folks have. Do you see that people are using it to kind of enhance the career or in the business that they're on, or are they're using this to completely switch careers and do something that they truly want to do with their lives?
That's correct. The spectrum of education available under this funding It's immense. I mean, we've just taken on 4 new courses. One of them is interpreting. The other one is accounting. So, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, there's something in there for everyone. And the people that we're looking for are, it's everything from people that just left school, young 18-year-olds, and for one reason or another haven't been able to further their education, but have wanted to, right up to, I mean, like I said to you before, we went on there. We actually have a 70-year-old doing, an IT course. Now, he's not exactly doing it for a career change, but he's retired and he said he wants to do it, and he wanted to keep himself busy. So, I mean, under the scheme of the government funding, he is eligible. So he's more within his rights to actually take up this funding. So people from all walks of life, whether it's they might have left school, chosen a career path, gone down that career path, maybe 2 years, 4 years, whatever it is, decided, well, do you know what? Maybe this wasn't the career path I wanted. This gives them an opportunity to actually say, hey, you know what? I want to change my career path. And guess what? I can do that because I'll choose a career path as long as it's covered by the government with the vet fee funding. Then I can do that course. I can carry on working as I am, but I can do it online in my own time. There's a saying that the colleges have with these courses, and they call them self-paced. And I think it's a brilliant way of explaining it, because it's exactly that. If you have access to an online portal 24/7, then you can do it in your own time. It doesn't have to impact on what you're currently doing in your life. In other words, if you're bringing up kids, if you're a young mother and you've got kids, or you work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, these courses are designed around the student to be flexible, and that's one of the reasons that in my opinion, that they've become so popular. They're becoming so popular.
Well, I think another reason they're becoming so popular is because of someone like you that takes this and puts it in an easy to understand way and helps people navigate through what could be a very complex decision, even so complex that they would hesitate to even to jump in and do that. And then also unfolding the opportunity for people, like you said, that didn't even know such a thing existed, because of the way that the jargon that is used to put these out there. So, I think that truly does make you an influencer in, what you do, because you really are, changing lives for a lot of folks that are people that are going through your system and taking advantage of the help that you provide here. Jon, how can people find out more about how to do this? If they're in Australia and they're trying to figure out a way to better their career, enhance their career, or even change their career completely, what do they need to do to find out more and get help from you?
Well, simple. The first port of call is go to our website, www.getcourse.com.au, or email us, info@getcourse.com.au, and we'll be more than glad to help.
Fantastic. So there you have it. If you are, if you are in Australia and you're working, you think that there's just no time, that there's no way that, a higher education is out of your reach, you need to reach out, to Jon Gardner and, get course, because it is within reach and it is something that is achievable, and just a fantastic program that they've put together. Jon, I want to thank you very much for coming on to Influencers Radio today and sharing this information.
Thank you, Jack. It was very good, and I'm really happy that I had the opportunity to enlighten your listeners.
All right, fantastic, folks. There you have it. Getcourse.com.au. Check it out. Tremendous opportunities indeed. Until next time on Influencers Radio, remember, you are the only real game changer.
You've been listening to Influencers Radio. To get all past shows and updates on future shows, visit influencersradio.com today or follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/influencersradio.